That man put his hands on me, I would have immediately swung on him. Immediately. Immediately.
Stephen A. Smith is undoubtedly one of the most influential people in all of sports media, but that doesn't really matter when one of the most important athletes in all of sports history takes his balls and drags them across your forehead. Yes, I am talking about LeBron James absolutely eviscerating Stephen A. Smith, and that's what we're going to talk about today. How Stephen A. Smith, someone who a lot of people looked up to in the world of sports and media, is now just looked at as a spineless liar willing to do anything and stab anybody in the back to ensure his place at the top of ESPN, and he has all the clout. Today, we're going to take a small little trip through what LeBron said to Stephen A. Smith in response to Stephen A. Smith's months of badgering him about his son. We're going to draw some parallels to, as y'all know, this is it's a football channel. We're going to draw parallels to Deion Sanders and the conversation we've been having with Shedeur Sanders, because I think there's parallels there. And then, of course, more importantly, Stephen A. Smith was caught in a bold-faced lie and lied on LeBron James, saying he was not at D. Wade's Hall of Fame ceremony without context, and then said he wasn't at Kobe's memorial. Nasty, nasty work, man. Let's get right into it. Look. What did he have to say to this man to make Stephen A. Smith now want to threaten to swing on LeBron James? This is crazy. Let's get into it.
Yep. Which leads obviously to you and Stephen A. Hey, legit, that feels like a moment that had been brewing for a long time.
He's like on a Taylor Swift tour run right now.
Oh yeah, yeah, we're watching it. Yep. We're all seeing it.
Oh yeah,
you're seeing it as well.
He literally, it started off with, I didn't want to address it.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't want to address it. I wasn't going to address it, but since the video came out, I feel the need to address it.
Yeah, on fire. You would be not to talk about it.
Are you kidding me? If there's one person that couldn't wait to the video to drop so you could address it, it's your ass. Like seriously, it's. And like he completely like missed the whole point. The whole point. Never would I ever not allow people to talk about the sport, criticize players about what they do on the court. That is your job, to criticize or to, be in a position where, okay, if a guy's not performing, that is all part of the game. That's all part of the game. But when you take it and you get personal with it, it's my job to not only protect my damn household, but protect the players. And I think a lot of the media, including him, and I know that he's gonna be happy as hell. He's going to be smiling from ear to ear when he hears me talking about him again. Oh, my God. He's going to get home and grab some ice cream out of the fucking freezer and sit in his chair in his tighty whities on the couch.
I hope at some point you two do get a chance. But you're right.
Dude, relax, bro. Relax. Seriously.
Now, let's go on to what his immediate response. This was Stephen A's immediate response.
That man put his hands on me, I would have immediately swung on him. Immediately.
Stephen A. I used to respect this man, but let's get into the more serious and heinous. I think heinous. You calling the man out of his character. You might want to talk to Drake's lawyers, LeBron. I know Drake and LeBron are on the same page, but this ain't a rap battle. This is actual defamatory stuff that he says, and let's hear what he has to say.
That he'd be happy with the things that I haven't brought up. I never brought up really and never really discussed why you were not at Kobe Bryant's memorial service. I never really brought up or discussed why you did not attend Dwayne Wade's Hall of Fame induction when that man was directly responsible for you capturing a championship for the first time in your career. I brought up none of that. I didn't bring up the fact that even though when people had asked, you had alluded to what had happened tragically to your son, and thank God he's okay with his heart condition. I didn't bring up the fact that even though you couldn't go to the Hall of Fame induction of Dwayne Wade weeks earlier, you were out of the country on business. I didn't bring that up. That's your personal business. Okay? But the fact is you wasn't at the Hall of Fame induction of a brother that's going to drastically assist to you being a Hall of Famer because he helped you become the champion that you are, and he was a big brother to you. I brought up none of these things. But LeBron James.
Yeah, he brought up none of them. He brought up none of those things that he just brought up and talked about on live television. And of course, these are just confirmed lies because LeBron James Bronny in Minnesota after health care visiting Mayo Clinic. And then you have this was, of course, what he was alluding to. He says, oh, LeBron couldn't make it to a Hall of Fame thing because, oh, you're with your son. But then you were also doing business. Yeah, you can do multiple things. You can, like, I don't even understand the point he's trying to make. Well, weeks later, you were out of the country. Like, yeah, he had a health scare. I was there for him, and then I had to handle my business. So that is just spineless. And then you have the Los Angeles Times have reported that the Lakers star was indeed in attendance, although we couldn't see him. While some people thought it was not correct that James not film that ceremony, others said that he might have asked not to be filmed during the Kobe Bryant Memorial. Stephen A. Smith was on national TV for the last month, basically saying Bronny was a make-a-wish kid getting the NBA contract now is I always knew he had it in him. We got all types of receipts, but just a clear, bold-faced lie. Now, why would you steep so low, right? Why would you steep so low to ruin to discredit some decent people? Sorry, I was trying to get the lyrics up. I was trying to, you know what I'm saying? Let me put up Meet the Stephen A. Smiths real quick. Let me pull up no, I'm not gonna do that. But why did you have to discredit some decent people, right? It seems something with the metaphor doesn't reach you, Stephen A. Smith. I don't know exactly what Kendrick said, but it was scary and creepy, and you need a version of Meet the Stephen A. because Stephen A., you've been talking crazy about another man's son. And not on the basketball. I'm not talking about basketball. Stephen A. Smith continues to specifically take people out of context and get it wrong. It reminded me while I was getting this video, I was like, I don't really want to do this video, but it's just so big. Stephen A. Smith has been such a big part of my life and watching sports. I was like, I'll find an excuse to do it. And then this video slid across my Twitter and I connected it like Drake in her part 6. Fuck me, I just made the whole connection, right? And it's the same thing that's happening to Shedeur Sanders, whether you like it or not. Whether Shedeur Sanders gets drafted in the 3rd round or top 5 pick, I think it angers people that Shedeur Sanders, by all accounts, could start in the NFL. Like nobody denied. You can't. Maybe last year when they went 4-8, you can make some thing up. But at this point, nobody can deny that Shedeur Sanders, on his own right, without the Sanders and last name, he'd probably be able to start on an NFL team. That's not a hot take. That's not a hot take that he's an NFL level talent. Right, and most likely will go in the 1st round. Now, I don't know how the mock drafts are looking. And people call him arrogant and all this craziness and do all that stuff. And then when Deion Sanders, and I don't even know why y'all thought this was, you know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't nothing new. I don't know why y'all think Deion Sanders is lying. Like, a lot of people say stuff. Well, I don't know why y'all think Deion Sanders is lying. Like he told y'all at the Big 12 Pro Day, he said, hey, I know who you are. Because I'm Deion Sanders, That's what he said. He says, I know who you are. And then he says, oh, I called him and I found out that was a lie. So, Stephen A., Mr. I would have put my hands on it. If LeBron did something, I would have put my hands on him. Y'all want to talk crazy when people aren't in front of you, but when somebody gets in your face, you know what I'm saying? When somebody gets in your face, what happened? What happened? Since like that, your tone switch, you're not as enthused. I just feel like, why are you not in the booth? Like, come on right now. What is what does Deion have? What happened to that?
You know me, I'm going to get to the bottom of it.
What happened to that boy?
Because I tracked it down. I knew it was. And I called the head coach and we had a candid conversation. Because
Did you really? Good for you.
We were really cool. And he said, Prime, that never happened. He said, matter of fact, it was a great interview. We all walked out of there saying, dang, this kid got it. I said, yeah, but this guy on your staff lied and said it did. So you need to check him. And he did. Shedeur has told me, he's talked to me intently about all the visits he's had with all the teams. So I know it.
And he goes deeper on the whole Shedeur and his path. But it was just so interesting to me how strikingly similar those things are because, Stephen A. Smith, remember what you were saying. Remember what you were saying about LeBron, son. You were pleading him as a father. Please, as a father, please stop this. But you don't remember that now. But you don't remember that now. All of a sudden,
to send prayers up
and to give a heartfelt thanks to God Almighty himself, because Bronny James appears to be okay. The son of LeBron James, 19 years of age, a freshman at the University of Southern California, USC.
So there was plenty of love to go around when he was getting out, huh? Plenty of love to go around. And I'm playing these videos for no apparent reason. There was so much love to go around when he got out, and now to use that same thing as some sort of gotcha towards LeBron. Some sort of gotcha towards LeBron, like he's this bad person. It don't make no sense, dog. It don't make no sense. And here's Stephen A. Smith, like I was alluding to, pleading with LeBron as a father to stop pushing Brian to play in the NBA.
I'm really, really trying to be as respectful as I possibly can be towards LeBron James. One of the top 2 or 3 players in the history of basketball, number 2 in my eyes. A treasure to the game of basketball that we should and will all miss when he is gone. I am pleading with LeBron James as a father. Stop this. Stop this. We all know that Bronny James is in the NBA because of his dad. The first game of the season, opening night, the Griffeys in attendance, father-son duo playing in an NBA game for the first time, an absolutely positively wonderful story. And then reality sets in. We love what we're seeing from him in the G League because that's where you belong. As you hone your skills and you get better and you legitimately earn, which I believe he has the potential to do, I am rooting for Bronny James. It would be cruel to root against him. It's a wonderful kid. I wish him nothing but the best. But he's LeBron James' son. And everybody knows what attention that brings. Molly, Doggy, put them up on the screen because I want to see their face when I say this. Right now, Bronny James is averaging 0.3 points, 0.3 assists, and 0.4 rebounds. You know what people are saying. You know what they're going to do to this kid. In 13 games, he has played 44 minutes. He has scored 4 points. He is shooting 1 of 16 from the field, 0 for 7 from three-point range. How are you doing him favors?
It seems that, things seem to work out. And of course, his tone seemed to change and things of that nature. But another person whose tones is, and just so we know, because, he was out there saying how much he was supporting Bronny, XYZ, Elemental P. And this was after the incident. And this is what, of course, Kendrick Perkins, one of the biggest the Bronnylators of all time, had to say that he's cutting ties with Bron.
LeBron James needs to stop. He needs to stop. I'm so sick of him with this, how the league is covered, because he wanted to be covered a certain way that he wants it to be covered. See, again, this is what it comes down to with LeBron. And I'm a big LeBron fan. I've been knowing LeBron since 1998, literally, 1998. The problem that I have is, one, everything that comes out of LeBron James' mouth ain't the damn gospel. Number two, we're in 2025. It's a different era. Damn it, you have to adjust. But here's the thing. The coverage of the NBA, in my opinion, has been the same since I've arrived in the NBA, since I grew up as a youngster watching the NBA. Magic Johnson, was he not criticized?
Yeah, and this is, again, shout out to Kendrick Perkins because he's a Stephen A. Smith lapdog. even though he pretends not to be. Look, what's really happening, and I wanted to delay this until the end of the video because, I wanted to make sure I capitalize on headlines and do things like that. Look, this is a really good parallel to the Deion Sanders conversation, but the broader conversation that needs to be had is that the death of legacy media that we've been screaming for the mountaintops is here, right? We've been watching them fall off the cliff. Skip Bayless is washed up. Stephen A. Smith is beefing with LeBron James to just hope and pray that First Take can get their ratings up. I know what this is, Stephen A. I know what the game is, right? So you're not gonna get one past me. I just feel like Stephen A. Smith has exposed himself to being the complete spineless person that he is. Someone like every other person in the media, where when people try to say, "Hey, I'm fine with y'all judging the actual product," instead of judging, being arrogant, right? Or judging, you're a terrible father for putting people in these situations, right? When we have no merit to do that and no place to speak from that, it just becomes nasty. And I know Stephen A. Smith has lost a lot of respect, but hey, man, when you get that $100 million contract, you're going to run around like Pac, man. So y'all let me know down in the comments how you feel. Is Stephen A. Smith right, wrong? LeBron, right, wrong? Is he tripping? Shout out to Stephen A. Smith running around like T Swift. Y'all be blessed, man. Keep being great because you're great.